Hello everybody, it is Barnaby for Spurred On. I'm here on the sunny south coast at the Vitality Stadium. Of course, it's Bournemouth against Spurs, 2:05 p.m. kickoff, and this is our team news reaction video. I wouldn't say there are many surprises about the team that I've just heard has come out. I'll tell you what it is. It's Hugo in goal, obviously Kyle Walker at right back, Jan Vertonghen and Toby Alderweireld at centre back. Danny Rose plays at left back ahead of Ben Davies. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Then Eric Dyer comes back in after suspension from the last Premier League game, along with Dele Alli, of course. And then Eric Lamela stays in the team. Christian Eriksen, of course, starts. And Moussa Dembele starts again. Of course, he played as defensive midfielder against Liverpool, played incredibly well. Then he played again in a slightly more advanced role in the week against Anderlecht, and I don't think he did play well then. And now he comes back into the team in the Premier League, or stays in the team in the Premier League, and he'll be playing as one of the three behind Harry Kane. That's my prediction anyway, although I guess it is possible that Ali could be pushed a bit forward and Dembele could go in there in the central midfield. I don't know which I'd prefer, to be totally honest. It's hard to know, but one thing we do know is that Dembele will keep the ball well, he'll hold it, and you know, maybe that will allow us to create more chances against a Bournemouth team who are really struggling for form at the moment. So what are the kind of interesting talking points of that team? I'd say Danny Rose coming back in the Premier League ahead of Ben Davies again. I could tell when I was penned in at Anderlecht after the game on Thursday night, Danny Rose came to do his warm down, and I could tell that he was a bit pissed off, to be honest, that he hadn't got on the pitch. When he's come in, when he played against Everton, he played well. When he's come in, I thought he's pretty much always done well, except for the game against Qarabag in the Europa League when I thought he was poor. So, you know, it's interesting that he's back in. I actually don't know. Maybe you can let us know what you think in the comment section, but I don't know what it is that helps Pochettino decide when Rose plays and when Ben Davies plays. Maybe it's about the opposition. Maybe it's about who he's going to be playing against in advanced positions for the opposition. I just don't know. But the good news, you know, from a Spurs point of view, is that we have two good left backs who are jostling for position, fighting for it, and both pushing each other on. Eric Dyer, obviously coming back in after suspension, was a shoe-in. He's been absolutely magnificent this season. It was just interesting to see whether him and Dembele will play together like they did on Thursday night. My prediction is he won't, and that Dembele will go back to playing on the right or the left behind Harry Kane, which is what he was doing earlier in the season. And then the only other really interesting one for me is I think Eric Lamela has dropped off his form in the last couple of games again since the City game. I don't think he should be untouchable. He seems to play in most games, but especially against Anderlecht the other night, he didn't have a great one. But I'm not going to get on his case too much. You know, as I've said to many fans and on this channel a lot of times, I'm desperate for it to work for him. I think we all are. He just really needs to get, you know, I think he needs another goal, really, or a couple of assists. And if that happened today, it would be great. What I will say about Eric Lamela is he is a yellow card every game. He always gets a yellow card. If you're betting people, bet on Eric Lamela to get a yellow card. He always does. And I don't know, it seems to me like he's not as quick as he thinks he is, and that not only affects him when he's attacking, but also when he's defending, and he kind of ends up bustling into players, knocking them down and giving away 4 or 5 fouls a game. And if you're going to do that, you are eventually going to get booked. Let's talk about the subs who are on the subs bench today. Obviously Michel Vorm, Kieran Trippier and Kevin Wimmer are defensive subs for us. Ryan Mason, Josh Onoma, Andros Townsend and Clinton Ng. I'd be interested to know what you think of Clinton Ng. I know a lot of fans want to see him given an extended run. He did play Thursday night. I thought he looked raw, but he was playing up front. Obviously, Kane comes back in. I'm wondering whether some people will think maybe he should be playing today in one of the wide three behind Kane instead of Dembele. My personal opinion is, you know, he's still too young, not quite up to speed with the pace of the game for us yet, and probably would be too much of a risk. Josh Onoma's on the bench. He's really our kind of only young striking option that we have on the bench these days. He got a run out against Anderlecht on Thursday night. He did okay, could have done better maybe. You know, he looks good on the ball. Obviously he's a class act. He's got a chance of making it, but I feel like with those young players you really need some of them to just step up, get an early goal and show us what you can do, just like Dele Alli did really, basically. So what are my predictions for the game? It's going to be a tight one. I always say this, you know I do, but I think the problem we may have here, if there's going to be a problem, is complacency. In the Premier League, if you go to teams and you expect to win, if you drop off 5 or 10%, you will lose that game, or you certainly won't win that game. Bournemouth are going to be bang up for it. They got turned over 5-1, I think, by Man City in their last game. Yes, they've got injuries. Yes, Callum Wilson is out, but they're not going to want to you know, play today and get beaten easily by another top 5 Premier League team. So they're going to work really hard. They'll be very tight, pretty narrow at times, hard to get in behind, and we've got to make sure that we've got something special in us. At least once, you know, a couple of goals should do it for us, but you know, I don't know. I'm going to go for 3-1 Spurs is my prediction. Let us know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Don't forget to look on YouTube for our fan cams at the end of the game and our post-match review. And most importantly, come on you Spurs.